complex pace since Henry Ford spoke those now famous words. People can have the Model T in any color, so long as it's black. Mr. Ford's competitors made him rethink that strategy. Has the desire for having the best ideas, the best people gone away? Is this approach overrated? To the contrary, one has to ask, when you start with one idea, one color, one way of doing things, one size fits all, are you providing the best competitive advantage for your company, your school, your customers, or your employees? My thought, as you expand your comfort zone and willingness to navigate into the complex arena with your employees, customers, and vendors, is that you may reach the same moment as Henry Ford when he realized a more effective way to move his company forward. Your products, customers, employees should not all look the same. If you don't believe in diversity, and this is where we are at Racing Toward Diversity, if you don't believe in the merits of diversity and inclusion, you're absolutely correct. If you don't believe in diversity, we're not going to stand in front of your building and yell at you or, start to pick at you or, try to get, if you don't believe in it, you don't believe in it. Again, it's something that, it may be something else that's on your agenda. Again, people that run large organizations, you may be trying to take your company public. You may have cash flow problems. You may have litigation issues. You may have hostile relations with companies or countries that you're trying to move into. That's not a priority, and that's okay. There's a lot of things you have to do to make sure that your shareholders, your partners hit their bottom line. And diversity may not be one, so it's okay, and it's okay to say that. That's for us. There's other people that's an issue, but for us, that's okay. We believe there should be that honesty there. That's not a priority for me. If you believe in the merits of diversity and inclusion, you're absolutely correct. At Racing Toward Diversity, if you believe in the merits of diversity and inclusion, we'll try to promote your story anywhere we can. If you don't believe in diversity, that's fine. You're not going to hear a word from us. Not going to hear a word. If you believe in diversity, what are you doing? What schools are you trying to get to? Where are you trying to recruit? Where are your products? So we want to tell your story to those that are on their diversity continuum, that are trying to learn how to get better. So the stories that you'll see in our magazine are the ones that are doing it the best. These are the ones that are willing to take the step out onto the ledge. The ones that don't believe in diversity, you'll never hear a peep out of us. How do we promote diversity? This was at the New York Stock Exchange. You can see me, smiling flea jack there, and you can see we had the people that are sitting there. Tracy Doy is sitting in front of me. Tracy's Chief Financial Officer from Toyota. So when we were talking about diversity, we wanted to bring not just diversity practitioners. We wanted to talk about people that basically are moving large organizations and what diversity means to them. As Richard Ketchum, you remember him, he was on the cover of the magazine. Again, he came back, a hero's welcome. He was going back to the New York Stock Exchange. That's the place where he started the diversity committee. So we brought him back to talk about, why did you even start? So he made the business case on Wall Street about what diversity meant to him. Next to him was, that was the ex-CEO from Pitney Bowes. Next to Murray Martin is, that is the head of AT&T. That's not Tracy, but Kathy is the head of AT&T. And then on the back row, you've got my partner, Ray Palekia from the New York Stock Exchange, Nancy Minchillo from HP, Dr. Rohini Anand from Sodexo, and that's Robert Marchman. That's the guy I went to college with. That's my buddy. That basically said, Fields, you and those crazy ideas. And again, 3 years later, we're doing a global diversity event at the New York Stock Exchange. This is on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. I guess the stocks were up that day. Looks like everybody was happy. And again, just some of the events there that we had. That is the ambassador to Botswana. That's pictured there with the dean from the business school at Virginia State. Again, this was the ad for the event at the New York Stock Exchange, where we were looking for what does globalization mean for diversity and inclusion. We had, because of the exchange, they had this pretty large room, but we had about 200 people there. But as a result, through social media, we got over 25 million impressions. We actually got the word diversity to trend on Twitter. So for those that, again, that just doesn't mean much. Most words that trend on Twitter are like, I guess the Bieber trends on Twitter, right? Lady Gaga, Obama, those are the things that trend on Twitter. Typically the word diversity, it was like, and what happened, it was like, it's trending on Twitter at the New York Stock Exchange, so people were wondering, it's not an IPO, so like, what is going on? So for people from all over the world, we're like, what the heck is going on at the New York Stock Exchange? But through the power of social media, we took a conversation with 200 people and brought it to a global audience. This is something I'd recommend. We're talking about diversity in religion. I had the privilege, there's a young man, Pastor Scott Williams. And Pastor Williams is out in Oklahoma, and he wrote a book about church diversity. And he asked me to read it. And as you can tell, I'm not shy about giving my comment. So he took my comment, and they actually put it as one of the forwards on his book. But in today's global marketplace and the economic conditions we face, embracing diversity in the workplace, I don't mean to talk in my back, is appealing to diverse customer groups. Pastor Scott Williams challenges us to move beyond the workplace and create the same urgency in our house of worship with a fundamental question. Does the sign on your church's front door read, "Everyone welcome"? And again, it's on Amazon, a great guy. I think he's got over like 200,000 followers on Twitter. He's really dynamic young man. So I think it's a great read. Promoting diversity, my 10-minute guide to investigating a company's commitment to diversity. And I'll be wrapping up on this. And again, for all of you guys looking for jobs, I think with social media, diversity has become transparent. I've got CEOs telling me, we believe in diversity, we do this. I said, it's great. So I Googled diversity in your company. And I got to go to page 10 to find that you did something. So you don't have to tell me or convince me. It's there. I Googled your company.